Good afternoon, Raider Nation. My name is Brent Johnson, along with Johnny Bryant, the big team. Sorry, I had making some announcements here. Distracted me just a moment. Brent Johnson, broadcasting live from Banks County, Homer, Georgia, up in the foothills of the North Georgia mountains. Along with me is Johnny Kabigting and Tate Taylor, as we'll be bringing you this BCTV Red Raider broadcasting production of the second round of the GHSA state tournament. Again, we're set up down the third base line is where we're broadcasting from as far as the production. The camera is up in the press box, which is the shot that you're seeing now behind home plate. I want to thank you for joining us, all of you faithful subscribers, as well as anybody else around the state and the nation or possibly around the world. I want to first apologize for my voice. Maybe it's a little more like a radio voice this evening. I've got somewhat of a head cold, but we're about to get things started. As usual, when we're on the road, we're kind of right here. We got a good team we're playing here in Banks County. We got a pitcher that we're facing. I'm just going to give you one stat. This team has played 29 games this season, 29. They've only given up 28 runs. That tells you that this girl brings some heat, but we do have some girls that can hit up and down our lineup, and her name is Denton, number 88 on the mound. Kamari Stroger's going to get things started. A lot of speed. She pours it in over the middle. Talking to Coach before the game, with a pitcher of this nature, when she does bring it as fast as she does, a lot's going to depend on what type of strike zone we have behind this umpire in game one or game two, depending on how tight or broad it is. The bigger the strike zone with a lot of speed, it's going to be tough. That's another ball two. Stroger leading off for the Lady Raiders and has done so for the majority of the season. On deck is Aniston Johnson waiting. Skylar Clements. Lady Raiders, the number 2 seed from Region 2 AA. And Stroger fights this one off. It's going to be caught by the center fielder. Made a tremendous play. Didn't think she was going to get there in time. Put the bat on the ball. I don't see anything overpowering. Line out by Stroger. Important thing, she was able to see about 4 pitches. Johnson to the plate, who has tremendous power to all parts of the field. First 6 batters are seniors for the Lady Raiders. Ball high in the zone. Ooh, called strike. Wow. That's what we can't afford. She's going to throw it there all night. Throw it chest high, too, if he's going to give him the strike. Clements on deck. This young lady is used to striking out about 12 to 15 batters a game. Big swing and a miss. Maybe took a little something off that pitch. Can't imagine this team is used to playing a whole lot of defense. Again, from my understanding, most of the runs that have been scored against her have been walks and mistakes. Banks trying to get back to Columbus for some unfinished business. They were defeated by Social Circle last year in the championship game. Clements right on that fastball. We're over to the side is where I'm calling from, so all I can see is how high or low the ball is pitched. You have actually a better angle at home than from what I see. Must have been inside. This pitcher doesn't get in a big hurry. She kind of walks. Obviously, you can tell she kind of walks to the back of the mound after every pitch. It's going to be strike two. 1 ball, 2 strikes, 2 outs here in the top of the first inning. Game 1. Best of 3. Rings are up. It's going to be 2 strikeouts. Again, nothing to panic over. Just got to come out and play solid defense. I believe Gracie Hand is going to take the mound for the Lady Raiders. We'll take this time right now to talk about our sponsors, number 1 being Mr. David Hand and State Farm Insurance. I want to thank him for being our title sponsor for the softball season once again this year for the 2nd year in a row. He was kind enough. I posted a picture of the tent that he let us borrow to keep us underneath just in case we get a rain shower a little bit later. Not expecting anything in Game 1. Possibility of some showers around 8 or 9 p.m. tonight. Thank Mr. David Hand for being a part of our broadcast this year, as well as our 2019-20 athletic school year sponsors, and that's going to be Coley Electric and Plumbing Supply, Andy Cawthorn Auto Sales, the Wheeler Agency, Burt CPA, and Family Vision Care. Again, you'll see some commercials run through periodically between innings, as well as audibleized advertisement from me about each individual business and industry that have jumped on board with BCTV Red Raider Broadcasting. I want to thank Miss Tracy Martin, the principal at Bacon County High School. I want to thank Chuck Woodall, our athletic director, for giving us an opportunity to broadcast like we do all around the state. We have a big following. I got a feeling there's going to be tons of folks watching tonight. I hope I can do it justice. I hope our camera work and our signal, that's the most important thing, being up here in the mountains. But before the broadcast, I always do a series of tests, and it appears that everything's going to be okay. Somebody let me know if you're having any issues at home. Those of you that might have a number that's tuned in. But here we go. We're going to lead off for the Banks County Lady Leopards. It's number 10, J.C. Ayers, followed by Martinet. I guess I'm pronouncing that correctly. And then the pitcher, Denton, in the hole. They scored quite a few runs. Their region is not, I wouldn't consider it quite as consistent as ours from top to bottom. I'll just leave it at that. When you talk about Vadea and Jeff Davis and Toombs and us, they're 1 through 4. It's 1 up, 1 pitch, 1 down. Ball was hit hard, but our star shortstop, A.J. Aniston Johnson. It's a good-looking pitch. Not sure what was wrong with it. Again, I can't see inside, outside. Gracie Hand, the senior. The Hobbs behind the plate. Strozier at third. Johnson, I mentioned, at shortstop. Another Johnson at second base, a sophomore. And Clements at first base, with Sadie Adams in right field, Hodges in center, and Andrews in left field for the Raiders. Good pitch right down the pipe. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Gracie has been solid all year long, as well as our other pitchers as well. But Gracie seems like is taking on the challenge of, I don't know about being our number 1 pitcher. But that's another good-looking pitch. Must have been just off the plate. Again, you at home might can see that left to right might be a little better. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 1 out here in the top of the first. Banks County, number 1 seed out of Region 8 and the number 1 team in the state by Max Prep. Ball high in the zone. It's going to carry the full count. 3 balls, 2 strikes. Don't want to walk any here with the pitcher, Denton, is a threat at the plate as well. Their big hitter, obviously, in that 4 spot, the catcher, Lewis, has tremendous power to all parts of the field. High in the zone. It's going to be ball 4. One out, one on. Again, another ball, I guess, a little bit low in the zone. I'm getting a little frustrated myself trying to figure out what the deal is. I see a couple parents going back behind home plate, maybe kind of check out a little bit more about the zone that this umpire is going to have. Higher in the zone. Again, if he gives us a higher pitch, the problem is not us girls, it's the other pitcher. This ball was lifted in the right center. It's going to be a home run. Ball just carried, continued to carry. 2-run home run for Denton. Just like that, it's 2-0. The ball just, I thought by my voice, you probably thought it was just a routine fly ball, but this brings the heavy hitter, Lewis, to the plate, the catcher. With 1 out. I tell you what, that's some pretty good heat right there from Hand. I'm still shocked that ball went out of the park. Raiders down 2-0 here early. This ball's popped up out of play. Raiders finished the season with 6 losses, 3. It's another line drive. Again, the ball is just, I don't know. Maybe I'm not used to being on ground level. That's what I'm going to attribute it to. The ball's just jumping off the bats. This angle makes it just doesn't look like it's going as far and as hard as it is. But that's a big out there for the Lady Raiders. And we go to Madison Chronic. That's Chronic. Ayers on deck. Brooks in the hole. Swing and a miss. Nice pitch there. She took some off of it. If Gracie can get out of this inning and our Lady Raiders come up and do some damage, somehow this lady, Denton, who has, again, helped herself with a big 2-run home run. Low in the zone. Good pitch. Again, Chronic at the plate. Base hit down the left field line. The way she was swinging the bat in the first couple pitches, didn't see that coming. But this team is here for a reason, and they're the #1 team in the state for a reason. Played in the state championship last year for a reason. This brings Jules Ayers to the plate. Kaylee Brooks on deck. Another ball is put in play. Johnson's going to squeeze it for the third out. Runner left on board. We're going to take a quick break and be back in. Okay, Raider Nation, we're back. Top of the second inning. Lady Raiders down 2-0. If you're just joining us, this is the second round of the GHSA State Fast Pitch Softball Tournament. We are in the foothills of the North Georgia Mountains at Homer, Georgia, right above Commerce, Banks County High School, the Region 8 AA, number 1 seed, Lady Leopards. Denton, the pitcher, known for her pitching, hit a 2-run home run, and he's going to give them that high in the zone strike, looks like. So we're going to have to be prepared to swing at it, I guess. I don't know if you get up in the box, back in the box. That's just going to be tough to hit, if he's going to call that pitch. It's basically a rise ball as it starts really low and picks and rises anywhere from maybe 6 to 8 inches. And he rings her up. Harper to the plate. Followed by Gracie Hand, Katie Johnson in the hole. Bree kind of hesitated. I can't imagine. I've seen Major League Baseball hitters being challenged by college and I guess you would call maybe semi-professional, like on the U.S. national softball team, try to hit pitches from these ladies at this distance. And it's nearly impossible by some of these girls that can throw it really hard. And she fights that one off. 0-2. 1 out. And a lazy swing there. They're just trying to figure things out. They're talking to each other. They're just kind of feeling things out. They're not panicking. I really believe they're not. Gracie Hand comes to the plate. All it takes is just a couple hits to get things rolling here, or a big knock over the fence. Big cut. That flatter pitch is more of a screwball. It's a change-up, it looks like. Strike on that inside corner. Took a little bit off, not much. But I can tell, again, they're not used to playing a whole lot of defense with this girl on the mound, and she'll throw every game. This ball is lifted. Should be out of play. And it is. I promise you our girls aren't scared. This is Coach did recognize that this is the fastest pitcher we've seen all season. There's that changeup, and that's just, it really isn't fair when you bring it as fast as she does with the fastball and then throws that changeup. It's tough. That's going to be 5 strikeouts in a row for that young lady. And we're going to head to the bottom of the second inning. I'm just going to stay right here, talk just a minute about a couple of our sponsors. The first being Coley Electric and Plumbing Supply, Miss Lisa Coley. I want to thank her and her friendly staff for being a part of our broadcast for many years. And she just does a fantastic job sponsoring not only BCTV Red Raider broadcasting, but just about anything you can think of, from sports related to clubs. And so I really appreciate her and that hometown business. I just purchased a dishwasher from her, whether she knew it or not, about a week ago. And I say on here to shop local. I know sometimes you can't help it. You got to some certain deals, or maybe you just can't find that product in Alma. But when you can and it's competitive, I really encourage you to shop local and support these business and industries that are supporting you and your kids, from rec ball all the way up to this varsity level like we see today. I also want to mention Mr. Andy Cawthorn Auto Sales. Saw Mr. Andy this morning. I swung by and picked up a vehicle from him. He allowed us to drive up here, a big SUV, to haul our equipment, keep us dry as it rained all the way through Athens. I want to thank him for that and his endless support of Red Raider everything. And we are in the bottom of the second, trailing 2-0. It's going to be Kylie Brooks, number 7, with Shelby Speed on deck. This ball is put in play, just a C&I single. Right off the hosel, right off her hands. Speed to the plate now. Santiago on deck. Then we're back to the top of the lineup with Ayers, who grounded out her first at bat. So 1 on, no outs. There's another C&I single. I have a throw-in error from right field. Runners are going to advance to second and third. With no outs. Again, Santiago, number 12, comes to the plate. Being close to the dugout here, I can hear Coach Gay calling out the number signals, and they have armbands. The ball must have been outside because that's the same height he's been given the other pitcher. Again, it must have been outside. Again, I'm not looking at the camera angle that you guys are, as I'm standing away. That was a good pitch by Gracie. A couple shout outs. I know some folks are watching at home, one being my wife and maybe a couple of my kids. I want to Jessica for allowing me to do what we do to support BCTV Red Raider Broadcasting. There's a swing and a miss. It's going to be a strike two. It was foul tipped into the mitt. But this broadcasting that we do is threefold. You know, we do it for our community, we do it for the athletes, and we do it to support my Technology Student Association. It helps to fund the things that we like to compete and go to leadership type activities around the state throughout the year. This ball is lifted. Shallow center. Zoe makes the catch, and she's coming home, and she cuts it off. Some uncharacteristic defensive play by the Lady Raiders. If she doesn't, I don't know, if she doesn't cut it at home, I believe we may have a play at home. That's going to put her in a pickle. But Lady Raiders just need to take a deep breath here. We're down 4-0 here in game one. Have done a couple defensive breakdowns here. Coach Gage just out there trying to settle them down, prepare them mentally for the task at hand. Beautiful facilities here. Baseball field is behind us. That's very similar as far as the brickwork, concrete, and such. Press box is very similar to ours at Bacon County. It sets up on the side of a hill. I wouldn't say necessarily a mountain. That kind of overlooks, and you can't see it from here, but if you step where you enter this complex, you can see the high school up on another hill. Football field is in between. Again, Homer, Georgia, just a couple miles off of 441. All right, here we go. We're back to the top of the lineup. J.C. Ayers grounded out her first at bat. No out. One out. There is one out. Good pitch. Ooh. Got her at first. Just a great play by A.J. I just hope the pitcher is okay. Not sure where it hit her. If it hit her on the hand, hit her glove. But we're going to take a quick break, and we're going to be we'll be All right, we're going to get a pitching change here as the ball caromed off of Gracie Hand's hand. hopefully she's going to be okay. We are going to Sadie Adams is going to come in and replace her at this time. It is possible for Gracie to come back in and pitch in this game if need be. If she's okay, we just want to hopefully she's physically okay as senior. It's just been huge for us these last couple years as a Lady Red Raider. Just hope that, again, she'll be able to continue in some capacity. But, again, Sadie Adams, another senior for the Lady Raiders, is going to come in and take her spot. We're going to be, after a sharply hit ball off her hand, AJ continued the play, scooped it up one hand, and fired over to first base for the out. Two big plays that she has made. There's 2 outs here in the bottom of the second. And it's going to bring Martinell to the plate, followed by Denton. Martinell, she walked her first at bat. Four to nothing, 2 outs. Bottom of the second. Game 1. We will play 2 today. Good pitch. Low in the zone. This ball is chopped to shortstop. She fires to first and gets her. Calls her out. First base coach wants to. He said, "Hey, you can ask for help if you want it." I can't imagine he's going to pull us out of the dugout. Got a feeling it's going to do it. Another great play by AJ in that dive and stop. Yeah, she's out. And that's going to change things up defensively. We started out shaky, a little rocky. We finished up nice and tight there. However, we do have a 4-run deficit. I mentioned one of the first things, if you're just joining us, one thing, this MO of this team is they don't give up any runs. They played 29 games this season, and they've only given up, and this was the last, this may not be completely updated, but the last statistic I shown, they had played like 29 games and only given up 28 runs. So, they don't, this pitcher, she's the real deal. We're going to have to do something special here in game 1. We do have game 2. But we're going to take a real quick break, and I'll be back in just a moment. Top of the third. Kaylee Johnson, we're still batting in order. We've had 3 up, 3 down in the first 2 innings. Katie Johnson, sophomore. Big cut on first pitch. This Denton has already racked up 5 strikeouts in only 2 innings. Ball inside, I believe. The height was good. The big white thingy that you see in the lower right-hand corner of your screen is a tent. So I apologize for that. Ain't nothing I can do. This is a hometown tent right there they put behind home plate. Sort of a distraction there. Covers up a little bit of the first baseline. Again, Katie Johnson at the plate. Hobbs, Hope Hobbs on deck. With a pitcher like this, I'm not sure how you attack it. You just about have to just set on one pitch and look for that one pitch. When you throw the ball as hard as she does and high in the zone or low in the zone and she throws that changeup. At what point do you try to play a little small ball? Ball hitting foul territory, out of play. Again, Hope Hobbs at the plate. Followed by Riley Andrews, just a freshman. As Andrews has come on pretty strong here the last 3 or 4 weeks of the season. Reared back on that one. Brought the sure enough heat on that pitch. Andrews to the plate. Then we're back to the top of the lineup with Strozier, who did ground out her first at bat. Excuse me, she lined out center field. Big cut by the freshman. It's just tough to hit when it's up in that zone and it's that fast. Must have been outside. Another good cut. I tell you, she's had some good swings. But again, with a pitcher like this, and she's got 3 balls that she throws, that rise ball, a screwball, and a changeup, you just about have to try to sit on one. I just hope you get it. And a big swing and a miss that's going to wrap it up. 3 up, 3 down for the Lady Raiders. 8 strikeouts in a row for Denton. That's impressive for anybody. We're going to take a quick break and be back. Headed to the bottom of the 3rd inning. Raiders trail Denton comes to the plate after a home run in the bottom of the first inning. 2-run home run. My understanding, 88 there. Denton is going to play for North Georgia College, Division II school, one of the best Division II schools in the country when it comes to softball. Ball low in the zone. It got a piece of the catcher and the umpire. One ball, one strike. Good looking pitch, just a little bit low in the zone. Another ball slammed to center field. Home run. Wow, the ball was just flying off their bats. It's a good pitch, low in the zone. She just went down and got it. Five to 0, no outs. And their home run hitter is now coming up. She lined out her first at bat. That was off her end of her bat. And for a little old thing, Sadie can really bring it too. Good looking pitch. Must have been just inside. Again, this is Lewis with Chronic on deck. Ball is chopped to second baseman. She fires over to first for the first out. Again, Chronic to the plate. Ayers on deck. Brooks in the hole for the Lady Leopards. Must have been just inside again. It's difficult for me to see. Ins and outs, just the highs and lows is what I get from our angle. Ball's popped up. It's going to be just out of play. Off the top of the home side dugout. We're thankful to be able to have some wireless technology this year. To be able to broadcast in this situation. I'm not having to run wires 300 or 400 feet. Cameras in the press box. We are down the third base line next to the dugout. And Sadie looks a little frustrated. Evidently, he's pretty tight between the black of the plate on either side. He's more liberal, high and low. Another ball. That was definitely low in the zone. 3 balls, 1 strike, 1 out. Bottom of the third. And that's going to be ball 4. 54 to the plate. Again, Ayers. This ball is lifted to left field. Be caught by Andrews. Can bring Brooks to the plate, who singled her last at bat. On deck is Speed with a single as well. Still early. This ball is trouble. It's a C&I single. Just, again, another ball off the fist, and they've had about, out of their 6 or 8 hits, probably 6 hits I think they've had. 1, 2, 3, 7 hits that I've got. About 3 of them has been off the fist. But they're hits nonetheless. It's going to bring 24 Shelby Speed to the plate, followed by Santiago in that 9 spot. Staying alive. Take just a second to give a shout out to one of my, I have to say, former students now because he completed my pathway, but he's still a part of my Technology Student Association, and he's typically with us on a trip like this, and that's Carson Taylor. He had to stay home to mind his studies on this particular trip. But that's why this young man will graduate with his associate's degree by the time he finishes his junior year this year. Just change up, pop fly. Great play for the 3rd out by Zoe Hodges. 5-0. We hold them off that inning as they scored 2 and 3. 2, 2, and 1, excuse me. They did get that solo home run this inning by Denton. But I'm going to take just a moment, take a break, honor the sponsors, and be back in just a moment. All right, Raider Nation, we're back. Top of the 4th inning, back to the top of the lineup for the Lady Raiders. Struggled first time through as this young lady, this Miss Denton, on the mound for the Lady Leopards, has proven her status, I should say. Kamari is the only one to be able to put a ball in play. She lined out her first at bat. I don't know, they need to be really looking heavy at that first pitch because I think she's trying to get that first pitch over. That ball's high in the zone. Kamari had an excellent at bat, about a 5 or 6 pitch at bat her first time up, and then lined out to right center. Another ball high in the zone. 2 balls, 1 strike. Another ball she fights off. 2 balls, 2 strikes. If you're just joining us, game 1, second round of the GHSA fast pitch softball tournament, and a changeup. And again, that is tough. You get 3 or 4 fast ones, and then you pull the string. That's 9 strikeouts in a row. That's the last time I want to count that up. Quickly 0-2 on Aniston. Clements on deck. And she lifts this one up. Should be out of play. Oh, 2, 1 out. Top of the 4th. Game 1 of 2. We will play game 2 approximately 30 minutes following this game. Again, that must have been inside. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Ball was thrown really low. Really low. Pulled the string on that changeup again. Clements to the plate again. Hodges on deck. Score only 5-0. 2 balls, 1 strike, 2 outs. Twos across the board. I'll tell you what, after another inning of this is just me talking. I'd see how well they fielded a bunt. Just to try to see them, just to put it in play. We've had only 1 ball hit in play. 3 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. This is the furthest we've carried her into the count, if I'm not mistaken. You got to think the changeup's coming. Oh, and she hits the pitch down to the third baseman. She snags it and throws her out, but that's 2 balls put in play. That's a plus, and I'm not joking. Take just a minute here to mention a couple more sponsors. The Wheeler Agency, Mike Wheeler, Country Financial, for all your insurance needs from farming, home, auto, ATV, which would be recreational vehicles, investments. That's what Mr. Mike Wheeler can help you with. He's a homegrown guy like just about all the ones that I've talked about and will talk about. Matter of fact, they all are homegrown. They just may have went away for college or something and come back to Alma and Bacon County. Mike Wheeler is no different. His twin boys played ball in the system back in the 90s. And, again, Mr. Mike Wheeler is a huge Raider Nation fan, and I want to thank him for jumping on board with us this year. He's located downtown 12th Street. He has been with us during times like this, during playoff runs, but this is the first time he has jumped on board for the 2019-20 athletic school year. I also want to mention Burt CPA, specifically Mr. Larry Taylor. They have offices not only in Alma, but Baxley, Waycross, and Nashville. For all of your personal or business accounting needs, Burt CPA. And we're already ready to go here. Shelby Speed. Excuse me. Kaya Santiago flew out her first at bat. 1 ball, 1 strike. Bottom of the 4th. Can't give up any more runs. This is the 9 hole. Sadie pitching. She was a little frustrated her last outing in the previous inning. There's that change up. Made her look silly. Back to the top of the lineup. J.C. Ayers has grounded out 2 times. This ball is another ground ball to the right side. Here's Jill Martinet. I think I'm pronouncing that correctly. Number 75. She has walked and grounded out. Maybe a double play ball here would perk our girls up a little bit. And there's a bunt. Rotation wasn't quite quick enough there. I'm not sure if that was just a good placement of the ball. I really don't believe it was a mistake. Everybody rotated like they were supposed to. It's just the ball was put in the correct spot, I believe, from where I'm at. Nonetheless, 2 on with 1 out. We're back to the pitcher position, and she has home run. Ball hops over the glove. She's out of there. Hammers are at home. What a great play. As the ball hops over Johnson's glove for the base hit, Hodges fires it home. Hodges puts the tag on. Yeah, the ball was there way before she got to the bag. And I don't know, what's funny is you got the coach is all the way down here, and I get it. Coach Gay would do the same thing. He's down here in the third base box, and he thinks he can tell if she's safe or not, and the umpire's standing right there. The first base guy wasn't really saying anything, but anyway, that's part of the game. It's still 5-0. Again, the base hit by Martinet. Runners do advance on the throw, second to third with one out. And again, that was the pitcher again. She doesn't get She doesn't get the RBI on that play. Brooklyn Lewis. She's supposed to be the dangerous one at the plate. With a base open, I don't know why you just don't put her on. Looks like he's going to pitch to her with 2 outs. And he may not give her anything to hit. Ball's inside, gets away from the catcher. Two runs are going to score on the pass ball. Two balls, no strikes, 2 outs. It's like Coach, I'm going to have to talk about this. Coach Gay is calling me the third out. He's got an issue with their coach being so far down on the first base box as if he might be trying to, I think, steal signs. And he took exception to it. And nonetheless, 7-0 as we go to the bottom half. The top of the fifth inning, 7-0. Got our work to do. We have run into a buzzsaw here thus far. Denton has been lived up to her reputation. We've only had 2 balls put in play. Everything else has been strikeouts. So we're going to take a quick break. I'll tell you what, I'm just going to stay here one more time to honor Family Vision Care, Drs. Hutto and McQuaig. McQuaig being that hometown family name, but Dr. Hutto is quickly making a name for himself as being a young professional in Almond-Bacon County, as he was a homegrown graduate of Bacon County High School, went off, got his optometry degree, and returned back to Bacon County in the practice of McQuaig, and they got a new building. I still call it new because it's so pretty over there on the 32 extension, and again, it's they got all kinds of sunglasses and things that you can use, even if you don't necessarily maybe don't want to use them for optometry. You can go buy a fine pair of sunglasses there, but I encourage you to go and let them use their state-of-the-art technology to take care of your eyes, your vision of you and your children and grandchildren or grandparents or parents. All right, here we go. We are in the top of the fifth. Zoe Hodges to the plate. Just tough. Again, you gotta pick a pitch you want to look for, wait on it. And a fastball, or maybe that's the screwball. It doesn't rise. That's more that flat pitch. That'd be hard for you to distinguish when it's coming right at you in the screen. And she pops it out of play. No balls, 2 strikes. Ball is popped in play. Left fielder comes up and squeezes it. It's going to bring Bree Harper. Doodle Johnson is going to get an at bat. She is on deck for Gracie Hand. Hand left the game earlier with an injury. She was line drived, took a ball off her throwing hand. I was able to overhear the trainer say that she believed that it's just a little swollen. It's going to be sore. With an ice, it would be possible for her to get back in the game if she felt comfortable, or maybe another game. But it should be okay. Raiders have given up 4 runs on 3 errors. So they've been legitimate, and actually one of the runs will come off a walk, so really 2 earned runs out of the 7. However, Denton has hit a couple home runs. The ball low in the zone. 1 ball, 2 strikes, 1 out. Top of the 5th, game 1. I'll try to get some scores from other teams around our region, which would be Vidalia. Another big fastball, rise ball by the pitcher. Again, Doodle Johnson getting her first at bat of the game 1. 2 balls, 1 strike, 2 outs. Doodle has a lot of speed. Just slapping, trying to keep it in play. Katie Johnson on deck. Slaps at another one. Could Doodle be the first to get a base hit? Ball outside. Second time only that we have carried it. 3 balls and 2 strikes. Even going to have a little meeting from the catcher. Maybe she's not used to throwing this many pitches. I know we've had a lot of strikeouts, but we forced her to throw probably four, around averaging about five. Another pop fly ball. She's probably averaged 5 or 6 pitches per at bat. Now, that really doesn't affect the arm of a fast pitch softballer, other than maybe tiring them physically, not so much their arm. And she puts it in play. Could be trouble. Oh, and the third baseman makes a great play. You got to tip your hat. Great defensive play. But Doodle does put it in play, as a fastball at that. We're going to take a quick break and be back in just a moment on the NFHS Network. Bottom of the fifth inning, 7-0, Banks County. Hit batsman there. Chronic is walked. Jules Ayers with a pop-up. Her first 2 at-bats. Takes the mound here in the fifth inning. If the Banks can score one more run this inning, and then we will take a 30-minute break and play game 2 this evening. I'm not going to waste any time. I'll wrap it up quickly, and then approximately 30 minutes later, we'll fire up game 2. I know on the website it says 7, but if it may start prior to then, just keep refreshing. Come back and join us for game 2. Hobbs behind the plate. Doodle in left field.